Da, 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 da. Good morning and welcome to the July 14th episode of Breakfast Spelunky. I see that my lighting is entirely off, but that's fine. Hey Fritzy, guten Morgen. Yeah, guten Morgen, everyone. Okay, what's going on here in the chat? Any word of when the Mossmouth episode will be going up? I think it's going up to. It's for sure going up today. It's maybe already there, and maybe your iTunes hasn't populated yet or something. Docky says I'm on a Spelunky break until Spelunky 2, so I'm going to experience Spelunky vicariously through Andy. Maybe very short because I've died very quickly on the PSN daily today. Tobias says love the newest episode of the show, so I guess it's up somewhere. Dick's definitely finished editing it, and he's definitely uploaded it, so you should be able to get it if you're subscribed on iTunes. I don't know if it's on the Libsyn page because I was just in a faculty meeting, so I didn't get a chance to check it for the last hour and a half. The True Blue TJ, hello and welcome. Is anybody else excited to play Spelunky 2 on Linux? Is it coming out? I don't even know. It's Steam. I guess it might be. I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. I'm just playing it on... My version is on Steam, and I think it's Windows only right now, but that might change. Oh, the new episode. Got it. Xanagear episode's already out. Gotta listen to it. Yeah, it's great. Will Derek be here today? On the show, yes, but not in the stream. Derek is a very busy person. as I can attest to. He's been like really busy getting the last parts of it done for the release on the 15th of September. And yeah, I can, before I get into my daily on this, I'll just say a few words, but we can talk about that extensively. Yes, I have been playing the game all week. I've had since Saturday. I'm probably 15 hours in, and I've seen maybe 2% of the game. I feel like there's so much going on that you do not know yet, and that I will not spoil here. I'll try to be vague, but if you want to hear more about it, you can listen to the show. We also there tried to be very vague about everything because we don't want to spoil it for people. And we have a bunch of suggestions of what that would look like. Yeah. What that would look like in terms of... So the way it's been working for us very well is that we play Zach, Doug, Nick, and myself, right? We have a Discord separate from the other Discord where we sometimes will like do couch single player style stuff where one person plays, streams, the other people watch. So we see secrets from the other player, but that's how I played Spelunky 1 too. Like I didn't lock myself up in a room. Also, I only play the daily, which is a thing I'm not doing right now, which is very different for me. And it turns out my play style does not lend itself well to going deep in that game. I just fumble around like a baby. And I love playing it that way, but then I watch Doug play it, who's like this like high strategy, good dexterity skill person who's like gets it, right? And he just pokes into all different directions, and he's much better at it than I am. Let's just say it, right? He's a million times better at it. But with that, I'm just going to start playing the daily challenge here on Steam, because one thing I've noticed is that playing Spelunky 2 has not reduced my enjoyment of Spelunky 1. Nick thinks I'm a crazy person because of that, but I don't know what to say. This is a ritual, right? This is a thing that I play, and it's just stupidly fun for me to die in Spelunky and try new stuff and old stuff, and just like, you know, let my muscle memory do the thing that it does relatively well, and just still play it, right? Like, because I love this game. This is my favorite video game of all time. I don't see why the release of the second part of my favorite video game of all time would make me not want to play it anymore. I might have less time to play it, but also, you know, I could just get more crazy and just die faster. True Blue TJ says the store page says deeper mysteries that may require a community effort to unravel. It's a lot. There's a lot going on there. I mean, again, I'm going to try not to spoil the stuff that I haven't even reached myself, but I've seen happen. There's a lot more going on, I think, than in Spelunky 1. And I don't even know what I'm talking about, right? Because it's not like we've figured it out. There's stuff that we've done that we were like, well, this seems kind of pointless. Like, why is this in the game? Right? And then we were like giving Derek feedback right? Like we have an email thread with him where we're like, well, here's what we don't like about, I don't know, the collision detection or some other like pretty more technical things. And then also like content things. And then he will be like, well, that's true, but also you haven't really figured it out yet, right? So I'm like, we don't know exactly what's going on, and we've played probably a total of like 45 hours, sorry, 60 hours between the four of us, because I think we're all kind of playing it every day for a little bit, and we're probably like each of us like 15 hours on our Steam timer. Zach's is like 35, but he also had the game on pause. Okay, what am I doing here? It seems, to be clear, I'm playing this on mega autopilot right now because I'm just talking. The gloves are $8,000. If I had $8,000 now, or a way to quickly get $8,000, I'd probably rope my way back up. But I don't really see a good way to do it here without wasting bombs. And if there's one thing I noticed again from the PSN daily today, it's like wasting bombs is like the worst. Docky says, heck, I enjoy Spelunky Classic plenty despite HD. Yeah, as you probably know, I've said this before, I never really got into Classic, but I get it, right? Docky also says, I fully expect to play Spelunky HD for the simplicity for years. Yeah, no, there's a thing about a thing that you're good at, right? Or that you've practiced. I used to play, and I hate to admit that I don't actually have the skills anymore, but I used to play a bunch of like pretty easygoing casual chess online just for fun because it actually was relaxing for my brain. I unfortunately cannot attest to that skill anymore. Like the last time I tried to play chess, I was like, wow, this is almost as bad as tennis. Like really mundane stuff like pinning my king, I couldn't wrap my head around anymore, and I was like, okay, maybe my chess career is over. Oh man, I don't like when that happens. So that thing has just happened to me where I ignored the fact that there's like a 3-block high drop here and I don't want to use a bomb, so I'll use a rope. Happens quite a bit. So something I can say about Spelunky 2 that's not a spoiler is, whether it's deliberate or not, the game and the way the levels are laid out make the balance between ropes and bombs a lot cooler. Like, so you know how ropes are like, you get a bunch of them and you're disappointed because they're not really that useful? That is no longer a thing. Like, you definitely have situations in Spelunky 2 where it's like, oh, I'm down on my ropes and my bombs, and not just down on my bombs. And it would be very beneficial to have more bombs in this situation, or more ropes in this situation. It's cool in terms of the level layout. Oh my god, okay. What's happening here in the chat? Let me go over it again. Okay, hey on Unparalleled Dev, you watched me die very quickly in PSN Daily this morning. Bomb for 8K. Yeah, but I don't think I would have gotten to 8K. I was at 5.5, but also I didn't do the math. BBQ Man Jr., great show with Derek and Eric. Glad you liked it. We were worried that people would like expect it to be more of a spoiler cast and then they'd be disappointed, but we tried very carefully to not do that. When is episode coming? 50 coming? True Blue, the True Blue TJ. It should be out. Like if you subscribe on iTunes, it should populate. Oh, it's a stream, but a video. It's a podcast. Oh yeah, everyone's actually. Why am I answering this? Chessness, the ultimate tennis chess crossover, which is impossible to learn. I love it. It's like chess boxing. BBQ Man Jr. says, thanks for no spoilers. Yeah, it's like there's a point where it's like, look, we get it. Like everyone wants to, as a community or like a little group of people, wants to figure that out on their own, right? Like there's a joy to doing that. I'm usually not the person who's like the best at theory crafting. So I'll leave that to my theory crafting experts, who I'm just gonna say is mostly Doug. Doug is the master theory crafter. Do I want that machete? I guess so. Why not? And I'm fine with that. I need to use a rope for this. I'm gonna regret this, right? Look at me. Watch me now play the daily and say, you don't really need no ropes in this game. Oh, see, that's the rare occasion where I hope that was ropes. I'm on 1-4 and I have not found the Udget Eye yet, which is not great. So, and I hope I didn't miss it. I can't imagine. No, there's the chest. So let's go find the key. Damn, that could be over there. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if the falling of that gold is going to trigger this, and I have no desire to find out right now. So I'm going to do this. Because I know that the falling of a box or something like that will trigger that explosion. Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. Oh, Jaker McGee says no, it won't. So but some things do, right? There's definitely stuff that if you push it down with the explosion box, as it goes over the ledge, it just triggers the explosion, and it's extremely annoying when that happens. Like, it feels like such an unnecessary death. I'll look at the chat in a second. I'm actually a little bit focused on not doing stupid stuff right now. Sorry. Okay, let's unlock this. I already have the spiky boots. Oh yeah, and if you think that this explode crates are touchy, and there's not, that's like the only touchy thing. I also, I have all that stuff. Man. Then, man, there's a lot of stuff they explode into. A lot of stuff. Okay, let's see. True Blue TJ. For me, it's always difficult not to give spoilers when I played something amazing and want to share hints. Mad respect for you to be able to hold back. It's a practice. It's practice. That's all I can say, right? Chop those spider webs. Shoulda. How's the jumping compared to Spelunky 2? I'll get to that in a second, Unparalleled. Docky, I do not trust anything near. Yeah, maybe a stack of gold. It's something that jitters it in some way that's just like not beneficial to your life. The jumping in Spelunky 2 is definitely trying to stick very close to the jumping in Spelunky 1. What I mean by that is your initial impression may be that it feels a little bit different and a little bit off, especially if you played a lot of Spelunky 1, like me, or anyone who loves the game. But within about, I'd say, a day of playing, like maybe like 4-ish hours, I was like, yeah, I'm good. Right? I was like, okay, I get it. I'm back. And then now I can jump back and forth with I need to go over there now that I started it. I can jump back and forth between the two, and I don't feel like it's hindering my ability. Okay, I can get to that from there. I was already up there, right? Yeah, there's no black market there. Well, did I jump over there actually? I did, right? Man, now I forget if I was over there. I wasn't. There's a... Okay, I'm going to regret this. It feels a little bit different. More importantly for me, what feels a little bit different is that the jumping on things right now feels like it's requires a little bit more precision, in the sense that it actually makes the game oh boy, what was that? A little bit more of a, let's be not stupid here. Makes the game a little bit more of a dexterity challenge, like more that I'm used to. Man, 1 health. Okay, I guess I have to use some of my hard-earned monies to buy a kiss here, which is another thing I rarely do. Let's get 2. Because why not? If I miss the black market here, then so be it. Right? Like, I'm gonna say whatever. Docky says, working in dev made me very experienced at not talking about game spoilers about NDA games. That probably helps, right? I'm gonna say that probably helps for me as well. That I've been in that situation more than once where I'm not allowed to talk about a thing. Yeah, we're definitely getting... Bomb explosion radii feel less chunky. They feel a little bit more continuous. But there's also a whole particle system going on, which you've seen in the trailers multiple times. Right? There's a whole like lava and liquid system that, yeah, they confirmed is in fact smooth particle hydrodynamics. I don't like this. I also don't like that I still only have 1 rope. That's fine. The reason this is a nerdery cool thing for me is that one of my co-authors on a particle-based continuum mechanics physics paper that I wrote as part of my PhD. He's the person, or probably one of the key people. His name is Matthias Müller. He founded Novodex, which later became, I think, PhysX. And then became NVIDIA Physics, right? So... Oh, Jacob McGee says I missed it. Did I miss the black market? Was it on 2-1? Is that true? If that's true, Jacob McGee, let me know. Yep. Jesus. Okay, well, whatever. Let's kill Olmec. That's fine. I'll just pretend that I didn't see that. Man, where was it? All the way in the upper right corner, or in the like mid bottom right somewhere? Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, let's see what's in the chat. My favorite type of hydrodynamics. Docky, it's the easiest physics fluid sim, like computational fluid dynamics, a thing you can implement ever. It's a simple loop over particles with like some like nonlinear function to transmit the forces. You don't have to understand the theory. It's easy. It's as easy to implement as a mass spring system. True Blue TJ, you have a PhD. Nice. I'm currently finished my bachelor's thesis. Pretty much done. Nice. Congratulations. Yeah, I have a PhD. I have a professor at USC. I've been a CS and games professor for the last 12 years. I did my PhD in Berlin. I'm mostly German. I know it doesn't sound that way. Bottom mid right. Damn it. So Jacob McGee, thank you for not telling me, right? Because it's fine for me to miss it. Although if you told me, I probably would have been fine too. Unparalleled says, I said, challenge for myself, kissing the booth. For the kissing booth, grab the damsel, throw the damsel at shopkeeper, grab shotgun, try to live. If I did that, these runs would be extremely short. My bachelor's is in computer engineering. Right. Mine's in computer science. I did my PhD is in computer graphics. My undergrad is in computer graphics, texture synthesis, and then physics and geometrically based modeling and animation to some extent, mostly modeling though. Okay. Calamity Blue, morning Andy. Hey, if you just joined, I'm not making it to the black market today because I was just told after the fact, which is perfectly okay, that I'd missed it in 4-1. Sorry, in 2-1. But yeah, so be it. That's what's gonna happen. I got stingy with bombs. I felt like I didn't have enough to bomb my way all the way to that part. So, you know, last week I did Spelunky, so I don't really have to worry about that right now. Although I guess at this point I could run the last part of this. Yeah, True Blue TJ, we have a lot of nerdy stuff in common. It's true. These days though, well, like it's still nerdy, right? Like these days, I'm doing something a lot less nerdy, which is getting deeply into music synthesis, which has nothing to do with technology at all and is not nerdy. It's highly nerdy. It's like what I would like to believe cool nerdy, but I don't even know if that's a thing. Also, I don't care. I stopped caring about whether something's cool or not when I was like in my mid-20s, when I realized that I should have studied computer science from the get-go and not studied it because I thought it wasn't cool when I was 18. That said, I never regretted getting an architecture and civil engineering degree. It was also, well, that's not true. I definitely didn't like. I regretted it when I first did it because I didn't enjoy it. Whoa, what do you know? What do I do here? 3 health. I think I just place a bomb there, right? Because that's what's going to happen there. Ah! I think that was from the left. Yep, was from the left. Okay, where's my? Oh no! Oh no! Okay, now I'm at 2 health. Oh boy. Let's bomb this away so I don't get killed by that tiki trap. There we go. Got a lot of health now. So those are the kinds of things, right, where I can stop in my head and pause in this game and do the right thing. I cannot do that. I cannot do that in Spelunky 2 because I don't have the experience. Let's see. True Blue, awesome. Ray, Calamity Blue, ready for class to start back up. Pretty ready. Pretty ready. I'm pretty ready. I hope everyone else is ready if you're doing it. Calamity Blue says, did you ever end up getting that Moog? Oh my god, Calamity, have you not seen what's going on behind me? So not only did I get that Moog, which is that one, I also got that Moog. And then off screen here, there are 3 more little monosynth modules and a mixer and effects pedals. And I'm going crazy. I've lost my mind. Wasps are shitty. Yep. Nice clip. Did that pug kill a bee? I don't know if the pug killed a bee. I hate to break it to you, young Andy, but in the past, but civil engineering is not exactly a cool dude profession. Yeah, I know. But architecture is. I always tried to have like one thing that would like kind of pull me out of the pure tech. Although I don't even know if that's true. As a civil engineering PhD, I take umbrage, guys. BBQ Man Jr., I aborted a civil engineering PhD halfway through it because I couldn't stomach it anymore. I was just not into it. And also at the time in Germany, this was like the mid-90s, like civil engineering jobs were drying up, unfortunately, which was not the case when I started in the late 89. I somehow always messed up the timing. 0 bombs? Are you kidding me, game? I always mess up the timing of when to do a thing. It was just so bad, right? I had no clue I was doing in my 20s, like 0 clue. Docky says architects are cool. LOL. We thought we were cool in the 90s. Maybe that was never true. It's probably never true. Look at here. Time for a cup of Cali. 12 bombs. Okay, so now my muscle memory is telling me, because I just saw the Moai head, that this is a level I have to die in. Of course, there's no level to die in anymore for me. Ooh, this is kind of tricky without bombs. I don't have the gloves, right? Okay, still working. As another engineer, we all make bridge jokes about civil engineers. See, that was my favorite topic. Like, I don't think I would have stuck with civil engineering if it hadn't been for, like, Germany and Switzerland have some of the most amazing pedestrian bridges and infrastructure in general. And it's just like some of those are just amazingly beautiful. If you are a fan of anything form follows function, and you've never heard of Santiago Calatrava, you should probably go look up Santiago Calatrava and his wild hanging structures. Water utility jobs never dry up. Yeah, I exchanged water utility and all of like that part of civil engineering for architecture. So in Germany, normally you take civil engineering and structural engineering, which are 2 parts of civil engineering, but the civil part is like water, wastewater treatment, city planning, traffic planning. And you can take that and structural engineering, which is of course more the technical part of keeping a building up. But you can exchange that in Germany for architecture. So you can trade out the entire block of the civil engineering for architecture, and that's what I did. And that was super fun. Switcher 9-11, hi everyone, hello. John Axon, if you don't get the Ankh but break into the Moai head with the ball and chain, can you still get to hell? I don't think so, because you need the Ankh and the head jet for the City of Gold to open, and you need the Book of the Dead from the City of Gold to open the gates to hell. Even if you found the gates to hell, you couldn't open it without the Book of the Dead. Docky Callie reminds me of all those multi-arm office ladies from my Twitter. I did see those tweets. They're funny. I thought they were super funny. Kai Lou says, I know exactly one architect I am pay because Trojan Pride. See, Calamity, I didn't even know that I am pay is a Trojan. I didn't even know that. I used to live in New York City across from an I am pay building that was under historical protection that I didn't really like a whole lot. But of course, I am pay also made the Louvre, right? The pyramid there. So there's a lot of I am pay stuff that's amazing. I was always a big fan of Norman Foster because, again, I like the form follows. Whoops. Okay, so we don't really need to engage with this, right? That's first. Oh, God. That worked, I think, right? Oh, boy. way too... Let's not. Let's, you know what? I think I got enough bombs. Oh boy. Come here. This kind of sucks because I don't really want to use the bombs for this, but now I have to if I want to play it safe. There we go. Well, I don't need the staff, but I also don't need to die to Anubis. What are you telling me? You mentioned was just a joke about dry up. Oh my god, again. Docky, what have you not learned about me yet about the fact that I do not, like, my brain cannot make associations for puns. Like, I'm the last person to get puns. That's fine. Actually, it's a feature, not a bug. Oh, I get a diamond speed. Oops, big part of why I chose the field. Why BBQ Man Junior Fever Point? But because of Calatrava or some other folks that I just mentioned. Ooh. Well, let's do this. Where's the where's the shopkeeper? There's no shopkeeper. I didn't annoy the shopkeeper. Unparalleled says I used to draft fire suppression blueprints for a plumbing contractor. Nice. Of course, Andy Spelunky crew is a bunch of engineers. Yeah, I mean, what can I say, right? I can pretend all day long. Oh, so here, let me show you a thing now, just for those of you who've never seen this, maybe. I can pretend all day long that I'm trying to become an artist. The scepter fits, but nothing is happening, right? So can you imagine if you're like one of the first people to try this and be like, wait, what? So that's where we are right now with respect to Spelunky 2, right? There's stuff that we have that doesn't do what we think it should, but honestly, again, I'm playing this with Doug and Nick, and they're just better than I am, and I think they've actually figured some of the stuff out that they need to figure out. I don't like this. I don't like this situation. Let's do that. Where am I? 4-2. Why'd you take the staff? I don't know why I took the staff. I just took it because I'm used to it. I didn't need it. About job security. So engineering does, so that is one nice thing about my background in computer science, right? So I now teach game design and I get to do a lot of pretty creative stuff. 0 bombs still, and like a bunch of, man, this is so weird. Okay, well, we got enough bombs, I guess. I hope. Guess we'll find out if I have enough bombs. Oh boy. Really? I don't want to use all these bombs, right? Because eventually, this is going to become a problem. Oh boy. I did not want to jump on that teleporty dude's head. Still trying to beat the game proper. Like, I'm not trying to sabotage it. Well, thanks, Queen Bee, because without the nectar, that would have not been a thing. Crockman squashed. Then I got my comp sci bachelor's in Unparalleled Dev. Yeah, it's a, you know. Smash the staff. Yeah, I didn't need it, right, Tobias? I didn't need the staff. It was, I picked it up because it'll kill me if I use it. And I'm that bad with it. Calamity Blue can confirm Andy's an amazing prof. I'm not expecting you to expose who you are in real life. Because right now, if you think I know, maybe I knew, and now I forgot again. But that's fine. Unparalleled Dev, can you tell Andy's a great prof just from the stream and how attentive it is? Oh, that's so nice of you, everyone. It's... I've said this before. I've gone on record saying this multiple times, right? Like, I'm trying to be a better artist and creator through my music and maybe games in the future again. But right now, I was very much influenced in my younger years when I started doing a bunch of pretty expensive and not sustainable for me at the time photography. Like, it was not, I couldn't afford to do it. I was very much influenced by Ansel Adams because I'd read his trilogy, like The Negative, The Positive, and the Film, which is like an amazing. If you ever want to do black and white photography, it's just like this amazing series. 6 bombs enough here? Should I? Ooh, it's enough over here. So let's lure him back. Them. So Olmec was a people, right? So when we always say Olmec as like a person, it's weird. I realized this the other day because I was like doing that typical thing where I just like unnecessarily gendered Olmec, and I was like, well, the Olmecs, right, wasn't like an individual, right? Ugh. Wow, what's with all the? I am so not used to playing this game this way. Let's see if that actually blows this up. Anyway, what I want to say is I have no bombs and I do not have... How am I even going to do this? How am I even... Do I have to cascade all the way down now? Wait, can I... So I can't go up because I don't have ropes. That said, I could see if I could... I can't get up on Anubis's head because I don't have the gloves. Okay. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'm worried that if I cascade 4 bombs, that's still gonna have a couple of little parts. But that's what I have to do. Well, whatever. See, it wouldn't have fit. It's fine. I tried. That's fine. That's what I was expecting. Climbing Blue. No, I already took his class last semester. Okay, could have been. I taught prototyping and I taught production, so it could have been either of those classes. I don't think anyone in either of those classes didn't get an A because of all the nonsense we had to go through at the end of the semester with COVID and teaching from home and whatnot. You can do this. Yeah, I thought so too. Create us something good. We'll never know, will we? Rest in peace. Yep, that was rough, but fine. I tried it. We are at 11:36. What should I do? Let me turn off the... Oh, Jake McGee's here at 2-2 and Brett Duville at 2-2. Do I make it to Olmec? I thought the statue was named Olmec too. Yeah, I just Googled it the other day and I came up to the Wikipedia right away with respect to the fact that it's like the Olmecs, right? And I'm like, then there's like the head is just like an Olmec. But of course, I wouldn't know how to properly say it, but it just made me think. So let's turn the music off and maybe even the volume off so I can go to the title screen. And then take a moment. BBQ Man Jr. says, good run, you basically won. Yeah, I feel that way too. That's about as good as it was going to get. Yeah, having a steady income in this day and age especially, but also always, is a feature of being an academic. So I, in a very German way, I'd say, picked that, influenced by Ansel Adams' way of doing photography, because he did a lot of really cool stuff with photography that like informed photography in the 20th century, especially like portrait and nature photography, both in technology and composition and technique. But that wasn't sustainable, right? So in his lifetime, maybe late in his life, he was recognized as an artist, but I don't think that was always the case. But it didn't make him not do it. He just did a job for 6 months, and then the other 6 months, he picked up he had like this old Lincoln, like a station wagon with like the wooden fake panel on the side, and just loaded it up with like gigantic, large format cameras, and just went for like a half-year trip through the national parks. And if you've ever seen like his famous photography is of Half Dome in Yosemite, which is what made me do a pilgrimage to Half Dome in the 90s. So I do that, right? Switcher says I got to Olmec without using Tunnel Man for the first time today. Was very close to City of Gold, but died before the Moai. That's far. That took me about a year and a half of pretty regular playing of the daily to get to that point. So yeah, I got to use the Tunnel Man. Was very close to City of Gold, but died before the Moai. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. 11:37. So Switcher, I assume you've already beat the game Olmec style, right? Um, the first time I beat the game, it was like going through through the tunnel builder all the way down to the palace, not palace, the temple, and then beating it there. And then I beat what we considered Iron Man to be, which was just beating the normal game, the 16 levels, without using the tunnel, which I can now seemingly almost do in my sleep, which seems wild because back then it was like the biggest achievement ever. Um, and then it took me another year to beat Yama. So, and that was like a momentous occasion because when I got to that point, I was like, I couldn't contain my tears. I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe this took 2 years. So it says, yes, I beat it years ago with tunnels, but started playing the game a lot again recently in hopes of reaching City of Gold before Spelunky 2 is out. And you can, as I said earlier, I'm still going to play the game. I don't think I'm going to stop playing Spelunky just because Spelunky 2 is out. Unparalleled says, I still can't get past the ice caves. I think a lot of that depends on the items you have, right? If you get a good seed with like amazing items, the ice caves become easy. Like if you have a compass and good mobility up and down, whether it's the gloves and a cape or just the jetpack, or a lot of ropes and the gloves, right? So again, if you have good mobility, and there are many ways to achieve what I would consider good mobility, they become a lot less scary. You just need to use your tools then, but it's, what can I say? It's still hard. Post tenure for sure, says BBQ Man Jr. So I already did that pre-tenure, but it also got me into a lot of hot water, and I've switched universities a lot because I don't like making compromises with respect to my time of life. It's not a good feel. I know money is important, but life is more important, and I never compromised, which is again, I've said it before, it's a very privileged position to have as a person who grew up mostly in a country where healthcare and education is considered a human right. So I got stupid lucky. But now I'm post tenure, yeah, and now I'm like leaning into it. But it wasn't a huge shift for me because I already did that. I just went from my creative output being papers and AI and graphics research at conferences to now I make music and games and focus more on teaching because it turns out I like that more. It seems much more meaningful to me. And this is not to tell people to not write papers, right? But like I've grown tired of it because a lot of it is practice for students to get better at their craft, and I'd rather do that in other ways, right, than advising PhD students. Switcher says, most of my runs end on the mine, but I'm usually fine once I'm past it. Interesting, because everyone used to say, and I still do it to this day, that the jungle is the peak in difficulty, right? Like if you can get past the jungle, you've like cracked a Gordian knot, and after that it gets a little bit easier. But of course, we just heard that Unparalleled gets stuck on the ice caves, right? So it's different for everyone, which is another feature of the game, I guess, that makes the game amazing. What should I play? Would anyone like me play anything specific? Yes, John, I knew that Spider has a number. Ice caves are simple to me, says Tobias, but Temple is defo harder than Jungle. Interesting. So the reason I would understand why that's the case is because Temple has the crush blocks everywhere, and they're the same color as the background, right? You should play Fall Guys. I don't have Fall Guys on Steam. I have Fall Guys on PSN because it comes for free with a PS Plus subscription, which I have. But I could buy it. I'm just not going to get it now. I've never played it. I'll try it at some point. I usually run out of resources by the Ice Cave, says Unparalleled. Yeah, that'll, restart. Try a new game, or just wait till tomorrow if you're only limiting yourself to the daily, which that really worked for me. Spelunky 2. Here's what I will do, right? Just because I'm a mean human being, right? Let's do display capture instead of this, and I'll just show you. I think it got updated today, right? That Spelunky 2 actually has now a banner. It didn't have a banner yesterday, and yeah, I have 15 hours in it. I have 15 hours in it, and it's oh man, I don't even know where to start. It is it's excellent. My early review of Spelunky 2 is it's excellent. If you like Spelunky 1, I cannot believe that you would not love Spelunky 2, right? Doug likes Fall Guys. Is that actually true, John? Has he gone on record and said he likes Fall Guys? Because I think that maybe it isn't true, and maybe you're making fun of Doug. What else is here in the chat? So I can't play Spelunky 2 because I've promised Derek as a I didn't sign an NDA, but that you don't sign an NDA with friends. You just don't do it. Mr. Driller. Oh, I still haven't downloaded it. I'm so bad at my homework. Play Minecraft. Oh no. I mean, I haven't played Minecraft since version like 0.7. I've never played anything after that because I gave a talk at IndieCade in 2011 that was about how games are language. Many people have done that before me and after me. But I used Minecraft as an example and how amazing it was when you didn't have a compass in Minecraft and had to find stuff after you respawned and you like tried to orient yourself by the biomes and landscapes. Do you like it as much as Spelunky 1? Asked Switcher. Yes. It's weird because it is clearly a sequel. It clearly has many elements from Spelunky 1, but I feel like it's still a game that I can appreciate on its own merits, right? Which is weird because to me, again, I made the analogy last week. It feels like maybe tennis and table tennis, right? It's not like Table Tennis 2 or Tennis 2. It's like, I don't know, Chess and Go is a bad analogy maybe because Chess and Go is actually this entirely different. Recommendation. If anyone here follows Shut Up and Sit Down, Quinn's put up a review of Go, and it's really good. It's a 20-minute YouTube video on the Shut Up and Sit Down YouTube channel. It's excellent. He's funny and genuine, and it's a good review of Go. It's a really good... It made me want to play Go again. I haven't played Go in a while. Jaker McGee says, I'm worried that I'll like the graphics of HD better than Spelunky 2. I think you'll like it's definitely, I mean, it's Derek, right? It's Derek's art style, and there's a lot more of it. Like, he's gone on record on our show earlier saying stuff like that he had to cut corners in Spelunky 1 and had to reuse animations and behaviors and physics for objects. Everything now feels unique, right? So I don't think you should worry. I think you'll like it. I have a hell of a time seeing the dart traps in the mines because the mines are no longer this brownish color. It's like a reddish color. And for some reason, my head hasn't latched on to that difference yet. And I died to traps a lot more than I do in Spelunky 1. Unparalleled says, you're totally right. The usefulness of compass, cape, jetpack, gloves, ropes, and ice caves. Yeah, I feel like we usually summarize that under vertical mobility. Right, so that you can still go up and down with whatever means. John Axon, it's Mario Party Battle Royale. Of course he does. Oh, really? I mean, you know what? Ask him on the Discord. Start that conversation with Doug and see what happens. I don't want to give it away, and he's gonna hate me for saying this. So don't say I said so, because he's not gonna watch this. Docky says, if Derek has another child, does that guarantee Spelunky 3? Maybe. I haven't gotten to any point that I could say is like spoilerific for like a sequel. So I wouldn't know. If anyone's here played, and the reason I'm saying this is because I recently finished The Last of Us 2, and boy, oh boy, that's not spoiling anything. Does that thing set up in a not terrible way, but it definitely sets up a possibility for The Last of Us 3. Friendgay, the classic between dev and DA. It is. Friendgay is a pun I understand because I've heard it a lot over the last 10 years. John says, last week you talked about like non-linear decisions in Spelunky, like Damsel isn't worth a bomb if you have 4 health, but is worth if you have 2 health. Does Spelunky 2 have more of that with the turkeys and stuff? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. So many. I don't even know where to start, right? Most of it will be spoilers, but it is so crazy how many times you're in a situation and you're like, do a thing because it's in your muscle memory, and then you look at the situation, you're like, that was a bad choice, right? It's like you've done it. And if you play board games the way I do, that constantly happens to you, and you're just like, well, that's how I learn. I'm very much, to use a very nerdy analogy, I'm very much a reinforcement learning algorithm that does dumb stuff that probably isn't good, and then I learn from like realizing that wasn't a smart move, which is harder when it's not immediate and it's like a long-term strategic decision. But that's how I'm playing a lot of Through the Ages right now, which is a very heavy, I won't call it Eurogame because there's target interaction, and that's by definition not a Eurogame-ish. But it's a European game. It's made by Vlad Shvatil from the Czech Republic of Czech games. Fantastic game, but boy, am I bad at it. But it doesn't matter because I don't care about whether I'm good or bad at it. Yeah, tons of those decisions. So many. Also, anyway, I have to stop here because otherwise I'm going to spoil stuff. Tobias says Go is a great game. Yeah, it's so good. I think you can still watch the AlphaGo documentary on I think it's free somewhere. If you've watched the episode with Frank Lance, just close your eyes and listen to the opening narration and see if you can make the connection. BBQ Man says graphics look so gorgeous, like Derek Strong has come to life. Yeah, it's wonderful. The sounds, the graphics, everything meshes in a way that's like the music of the Mayans is like in my head all the time. All in Parallel Dev, have you played the multiplayer in Spelunky 2? I have not. I have not because it's not part of the Steam build right now. It's not. It will be obviously in the final version of the PSN build that's coming out on the 15th of September, but the Steam build doesn't have it right now. So I have not played multiplayer. We're very excited to play the like co-op daily stuff. Heterosafado, welcome. The turkey food heals you in Spelunky 2? It does, and it's fun. I think cooked turkey does maybe. Yes, cooked turkey. My bad. Yeah, and there's so many different ways to cook a turkey. And that decision in and of its own, without giving anything away about the mechanics of the turkey is an amazing mechanical device in terms of it protects you and it double jumps and you can triple jump off of it if you double jump and then jump off of it. It's like, and then it's like, oh, that's strong. How is my health? Also, what else could I do? There's a million uses for everything, right? Docu says overlapping dimensions is inevitable with even one more parameter, so I expect it will take a long while to judge the current relative value of stuff in S2. Yeah, and it's also always relative to your play style. So that's another, and that's the same for Spelunky 1, right? If your dexterity skills are like mine are deteriorating, right? Let's be honest, right? Like I can't pull off the same stuff I could pull off 20 years ago. So the muscle memory is there, but like my skills are not the same. So sometimes I have to like use bombs for a thing that someone else would just be like, nope. Like a good example is I have to rope down a dart trap if I don't have a throwable because I can't whip dart traps, but Zach wouldn't because he can. Jaker McGee says, yeah, I love his art style, but the coloring in 2 seems a little more, not sure the right word, watercolor, not as dynamic rich. It looks way better in action than it does in stills, in my opinion. Right? Which was our initial concern if you go back and listen all the way to the first episode of the show, right? But it's not warranted. It's perfectly fine. And the game's so close to being released with much bigger fish to fry on the designer side that's not an issue. And then at some point, the good old like you need to abandon your art just holds. Like good artists know when to quit, and Eric and Derek knows when to quit, and he has a very good explanation for what that means for him personally if you go and listen to the show. What did you think of the shopkeeper speed nerf as Heterosafado? So here's the thing about the shopkeeper speed nerf. It has been speed nerfed, but the shopkeeper, and again, this is not a spoiler because the first game you play when you get the shopkeeper upset, you'll see what I mean. The shopkeeper AI is stupidly better than the shopkeeper AI in Spelunky 1. Like the shopkeeper will like traverse the environment and not just jump around, right? So it's not as simple. It has there's pathfinding. It will utilize elements in the environment like ropes and ladders and stuff. So it's definitely more than made up for by the fact that that character follows you, right? It's a much scarier proposition to set off the shopkeeper, I think, right? But I heard on Zach mentioned this morning on our Slack that he's found a way, so maybe I'll eat my words later. Yeah, and I'm fine talking Spelunky 2 for the last 6 minutes. Jaker McGee says, any expectations, talk of post-game release, expansions, additions? No idea, honestly. Spelunky 1 got a few updates, but they were mostly related to the developers, namely Derek and Andy, leaning into the what the community had like figured out, like the eggplant run. Like they changed the sprite sheet post hoc because people broke the Moai head, so they had to, and there was no broke Moai head part of the sprite sheet, so they added that later, which is amazing, right? But I don't know. I feel like Derek's the kind of person, and this is just from my personal experience, where I think he has so much left in him in terms of other stuff that he likes to work on, that I would imagine that once he's gotten through post-release patching and a couple of updates, I don't know if he's the type of person who wants to like make this like a service. I don't feel like Derek's the type of person for service, games as a service, but I don't know. He did not talk about it, and I don't think we asked. Docky says Zach has probably hacked the executable to change the game to suit him. I would not be surprised, but I think his skills, I don't think he's as good at hex editing as he is at just like changing source code. Pretty sure that I don't know if people can hear the vacuuming noise, but that probably means that my kid did a bunch of mess out in the living room. Switcher says, just got to the Ankh on the current run I'm on. Nice. Good job. Knowing that we know now where that the black market is in 2-1, right? Which I missed in my run. Are there any other questions that I can speak to about Spelunky 2 that are not going to spoil Spelunky 2? Because let's face it, the game's a month out, right? Which I still think is wonderful and amazing because I love PC gaming. I think it's the best platform for streaming. Like the fact that I can just set up a mic and a webcam is easier for me than buying an iCam. Like I don't know exactly what I'm going to do when I want to stream Spelunky 2. It might just be me getting a decent... I think I have a decent headset, right? That actually connects to the PS4. It's like this neat little SteelSeries wireless headset. I'll probably just set that up and like be on voice, and I'll probably be streaming my dailies every day. So yeah, but here's the thing. I'm looking forward to playing Spelunky 2 on PSN because I like playing it on my big screen. I know I could set up Steam to do that. My office is a little bit too far away from the living room TV, and I don't want to buy another TV for the office yet. That'll definitely come at some point because I'd like to have my mixing and editing and mastering for the audio stuff on a big screen in the recording studio. Cloud saves, no idea. Right now it has no saves. So I don't know if cloud saves are going to be a thing. They probably will be on. Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Did you pick a winning tweet? Asks John. We're on it. We will know before the next show or on the next show or maybe even before then. We'll see. Switcher asks, is it harder than Spelunky 1? We have a long discussion about that on the show, but the TLDR is most of us at this point think it's harder. We think it's harder because there's so much more going on in the mines as opposed to Spelunky 1. Like the Spelunky 1 to me feels more like it's been, and again, Derek's a very like feel-based designer. It's not like he's like, well, let's sprinkle in 3 ounces of roguelike and 8 ounces of platforming. But I feel like the mines in Spelunky 1 feel more like a roguelike. Again, I've also internalized most of the stuff, but you can stand still. Most stuff won't kill you. It's not really a lot of time pressure, minus the ghost. And even the ghost isn't a lot of time pressure if you have enough ropes and space to avoid it. You cannot do that in a lot of situations in Spelunky 2 because there's more dynamism, right? There's a lot of stuff going. There's a lot of moving parts that are cool, but also require that you like think on your feet a lot more. So I think it's going to be harder. I think people are going to find it harder. There was a speculation that maybe the fact that people won't come with our baggage from Spelunky 1 will make it easier for them, because it feels like it leans more into the dexterity as opposed to like the thinky situational logic. I don't know. I think for me it was definitely harder. It's definitely harder, but I love it, right? I don't want to beat it right away. I will never forget the day I imported Mario Kart 64 thinking I'd get Super Mario Kart and like take a year to beat the single player, and then I beat it in like an afternoon, and it cost me like $200 to import it from Japan. That was a nightmare. Heterosphos says, you like the addition of the power pack. The description is that it will buff the weapon. Is it strong? Yes. Yes, it is very strong. And volatile, but very strong. I love the addition of more items that are on par or different on par with the jetpack. Make the jetpack appearance less spiky and change the nature of the run entirely. So a lot of items just change the nature of the run, and it's fantastic because of that. Tripmo, evening. Hey, Tripmo, who's clearly better at PlayStation Network Spelunky than I am. I have gone over a week without beating the PSN daily, and it's starting to bum me out. But I love seeing that you managed to pull it off. Amazing episode of Spelunky Show like today. Congrats on your finale with the Masters. Yeah, it was great. It was stupidly fun, and you should all go listen to it. Again, I was a little bit worried that we would have not... Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. I thought I'd silence everything. I was a little bit worried that we would have not... They would be a little bit too vague, and people would be like, well, you already said all this, right? But, like, I'm glad you like it. Jake McGee says, is 2 going to bump HD off your favorite game ever? I don't know. Not yet. Definitely not yet. I need a lot more time with it. Docky says, I wonder how much I will dodge community stuff and spoilers of Spelunky 2. I often shy away from that stuff. Again, I'll repeat what I said earlier. For me, it works really well to play it with a small community. Like, I'm going to probably avoid... Honestly, I don't even know if I will. I avoided the Noita Discord channel while I was playing Noita and only shared secrets with... and also, people were so careful to use the spoiler tags on our Discord channel. So I don't want to have, like, the world tell me things, or I'm not going to start Googling how to get to the secret ending, right? But if Zach's like, hey, I got to the secret ending, you want me to tell you? And I'll be like, give me a day or two. And then 2 days later, I'm like, you know what? What's up, right? Or even better, how about you do a run and I'll watch you run? And then he's like, I'm going to get to the secret ending today. And I'm like, awesome, now I know, right? That's my favorite way. I'm rarely the person who gets to that first, and I have no expectations that I would be. Yeah, spoiler tags are good, says Docky. Yeah, I agree. I think spoiler tags are fantastic. Switcher says, are there any items missing from Spelunky 1 you know of? Not that I've seen at this point. Not that I've seen... Why is this... Sorry, let me quickly go over here and silence this, because I didn't want this to click the whole time. I can't tell... Maybe, no, I've seen the machete and I've seen the boomerang, which has also got like a little bit of a behavioral upgrade, I think, like a physics upgrade. No, not that I can tell at this point. Nothing that I would like, oh God, my favorite item, right? No, all that stuff's there, and more. Heteros Father says, is it dangerous to try to hit the female walrus? I've never made it to the walrus, sorry. I miss the flair from Spelunky Classic. Yeah, that's also not... I don't know, right? I haven't played a whole lot of Spelunky Classic. Yeah, there's a couple of things I have seen that are not the female walrus, but I'd like to say that if I say it, it's like find it out yourself, right? Because a lot of it's also like hidden in the... There are definitely hidden mechanics even when you found a thing, and then you like do a random move, and you're like, oh, it's like almost like playing a fighting game where you like did a quarter circle down, a down quarter circle forward, and suddenly you shoot a fireball. And like, how did I just do that, right? Because they famously didn't put that on the cabinet when Street Fighter 2 came out, right? And people had to start figuring out whether you like that or not. Like, I used to like not like it a whole lot in fighting games, but you know, there's stuff like that that eventually people will figure out, I think. Probably a lot faster than us, because people are just like, they just like eat that stuff up. So I'm going to avoid that, because I don't want everyone to like lay out every single thing to me on day one. And there's also something about that where, do I want to go into negativity 4 minutes after the hour? I don't like it when people use that as a badge of honor. I think it's toxic. I'll just say it straight up. If you are that person, you don't think any of you are, but if you are that person, you're wrong. You're not smarter than everyone. Sorry to burst your bubble there. It's annoying when people do that. So that's one of the reasons I avoid it, because those people exist, and I tend to not want to engage with that. But if you do that and then you generously share it with the community because you would like people to know about it, then you are on my good person list, right? It's because, oh boy, is it a pet peeve. Like, this does not limit itself to games. Anyone who's like at a conference and like, check out my amazing paper, I'm like, can I please not check out your amazing paper? Can I please never engage with you ever again, please? Tobias VL, what I almost said WTF. I have no idea because 235 according to a Facebook test my dad posted. Yeah, I am not a fan of people boasting with their arcane scientific humanities, trivia, or whatever knowledge. I'm not a fan of that at all, ever. Tripmo says, it feels so surreal it's actually coming out in a month. Still pretty much having a minor nervous breakdown. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. And I say this having played the game, right? Because after we recorded the show yesterday, I was like, so, as a community, and by community I mean the four of us, are we gonna like put this aside now and wait till the PSN version comes out? And Nick and I were both like, yeah, you know what? I would like to do that. And then Zach was like, you're going to have to pry this out of my dead hands. And that basically set the tone for, well, now we're all going to have to play it, because I don't want to, well, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, I have to play Spelunky too. I'm going to play it every day a little bit, get up on our, it definitely is classic Zach, right? Says John, definitely classic Zach. But he's got a point. It's an amazing game. Like, putting a little bit of time into it every day just so that we like have a little bit of a head start, and it's fun to play. It's just fun to play. It's I think the version I'm playing right now hasn't crashed once. Every now and then it gets a little like weird, and there's still stuff to be fixed, but it's fully playable. There's nothing, so there's no reason for me to be like, wait for 1.0. This is 1.0. Switcher says Spelunky 2 is coming out. This is sort of like reliving a chunk of my childhood. Yeah. It's like reliving a chunk of mine. And I just turned 50. Tripmo says, if you could share, do you have full access to the game from here on out? As far as I can tell, yes. Okay, so let me be very specific. We have the Steam build, which is not coming out on the 15th, because they assume that certain elements of it, like online stuff, it's usually stuff that's like not easily cross-platform. That stuff is not going to be ready. So it's not coming out day and date. PSN is coming out on the 15th. Steam does not have a release date yet. So do I have... The fully exact answer is I have full access to the Steam version. I do not have full access, or have ever had access to the PS4 version. I kind of hate you guys very much. Yeah, this is... I've literally... That's not true. I had early access to Fez too, because Phil shared it with me back in the day. But it was like their final version that had passed cert on Xbox. It wasn't like a pre-version, right? So he was like, I sent out codes to my friends, right? Which I put a lock on a paper I was writing at the time. I was just like, well, I guess this paper's not getting written. Um, Fez humble brag. Yeah, sorry, John. It was just like Fez was also like one of those things that were just like it was so fun to play. Uh, and Theorycraft Fez before everyone had access to it. Dang, I thought you said Fez 2. Nope, sorry. I don't think Tobias. I don't think Fez 2. But he says Fez 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think Fez 2 is. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I hung out with Phil at GDC last year, and I don't know. I don't know if if they're still working actively on Fez 2 right now. I don't know. Phil's in a better place than he was back then when he was too visible for his own good, I think. Switcher says, I really like how they've shown you build a sort of a village with all of the unlockable characters. So I was wondering if you unlock characters in the same way. As far as I can tell, yes, but who knows, right? Like, they're definitely, I've come across the same unlockable, like, coffins, and then the people pop up in the common space. But I haven't really engaged with that part of the game a whole lot yet. Calamity Blue says, what's your favorite soda? Man, the only reason I know about any kinds of soda is because of the Giant Bombcast. I don't drink soda. Well, unless LaCroix counts as soda. I guess that counts, right? But even LaCroix, I drink like one in a blue moon. I tend to prefer high potency alcoholic beverages in the evening, but even that I'm kind of staying off of right now because I'd rather have my energy to make music and do all kinds of other stuff. So I'm mostly drinking coffee in the morning and water the rest of the day. That's here's my favorite soda. It's a birthday present for my wife, a Swell thermos. Tripmo says, sorry if you covered this, but how's Eric's music this time around? Stupidly amazing again. Maybe better, right? Because yeah, that's not a spoiler. The music changes the same way it did in the 1, right? Like it's more dynamic because there's like a trigger-based music system now. But that's not the point. My point is, if you go to different areas, dark levels, the music would change, different track. Those tracks now feel like a mix between Spelunky and Nintendo in a way that I can't properly describe how good that is, right? Zelda vibes, Super Mario vibes, all kinds of vibes, but still feeling unique and fresh. And it's just like, yeah, I can't say enough good about it. Blue correction, what's your favorite high potency beverage? It's definitely been margaritas for a while. Stupidly enough, when I lived in Brooklyn and Manhattan, it was Manhattan's. I kind of perfected the Manhattan for a while. And now I've perfected the margarita. But for the last 2 weeks, I've been like, you know what would be good? Maybe at the start of the semester when I'm doing music, podcast, PhD, advising, 2 classes, a kid, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, let's just keep my energy for that for a while. Spunky 2 has all the vibes. Yep, Tripmo great. I can't wait for you to come out to my stereo on the subject of music. How can one find and check out your stuff? Oops, all caps. Do not do that. Nealon.bandcamp.com. There you go. That's my stuff. And I'm currently working on EP2. About 2 tracks-ish into a 5-track second EP that I'm either going to release next or one of the next 2 Bandcamp Fridays. Is this Terraria? Nope. Layered adaptive audio. Yeah, it's amazing. Harris Fado, does the Shopkeeper music continue or they change it? It's a little bit different. It's still Shopkeeper music, but it's a little bit different. Trip was such a plan. Thanks, LOL. Yeah, I mean, I'm bad at self-promotion, in case people have never noticed that about me. I guess I could be better at it, but also I have a job and it pays generously, so I'm not out for getting people's money. I'd like people to engage with my art, but I don't know exactly how to do that in a way that is, how how do I say this? The way I'd like it to be. So right now I'm just trying this on for size, and I'll just learn as I go along. So we'll see. Is the black market music in there somehow, says Tobias? My fave music. Yes. There is a new black market track, by which I'm spoiling there's black market. But I haven't reached it yet because it's hard to get to. And there's another thing why I'm not reaching it that has something to do with something. It's another spoiler, which I would prefer not to tell you. Because it's fun to figure it out or find it yourself, do it yourself, and then figure out that the way there are alternate paths through the game in Spelunky 1, going through the worm or through the spaceship or through the castle and all that stuff, that I never do because they're way harder and they're not the optimal path. And I think way in the beginning of the podcast, I always said like, oh, I hope that's so better than the future Spelunky 2. There'd be like more reasons to do other paths based on the current build or the daily drop and the seed. And I think that's the case. Let's just leave it at that. John Axon says, maybe the real black market was the friends we made along the way. You know what? What a nice way to go out on today's stream. Because, yeah, it's 12:14. I would like to get some lunch. And then I have 1 million new student welcomes because our semester starts on Monday. And ends before Thanksgiving, so I only have 13 weeks. So I gotta get to it and say hi to the new students on Zoom because we're all online, obviously. On Pellet says, thanks for the stream. You're very welcome. Take care, everyone. Yes. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. But yeah, thank you all for showing up very regularly. There's a pretty hardcore crowd here, plus a couple of people who show up every now and then, plus a couple of people who straddle their way in and stay or don't, right? But there's like a dozen people I think are here like pretty much every Friday. So thank you very much for doing that. It's I appreciate it tremendously. If you stop the stream, I have to actually listen to my work Zoom meeting. Ugh. Sorry, John. Switcher says, this is my first stream actually. Well, you're welcome. Welcome to the stream. It's a small little cozy crowd where I can still engage very easily with the chat, which I like the size. I sometimes say it would be nice if we had more because maybe that would entice my co-hosts to come too, because I kind of sometimes feel that this is like under their visibility grade, but I don't care because I love doing it. It's not my MO. So yeah, show up at will. I'll always tweet about it. You can follow us at The Spelunky Show. Or is it? Yeah, it's at The Spelunky Show, one word. Free lesson from the professor. Yeah, or come to Germany where I'll teach it for free in the future when I move there. Germany has free education. In case no one knew this, it's not limited to German citizens. You can go there if you qualify and sign up for it. You don't need to speak the language. Don't need to be a German citizen. Next week, we should all exchange PSN tags. Here you go. World mute. That is my PSN tag. Please add me. With that, off to go and listen to the show podcast. Bye, everyone. Yes, I have to go too because I have to get ready for these meetings. Thanks for showing up. Be safe. Be healthy. Those are the two most important things. Take good care of yourself. Do not overstretch yourself because you think you need to do it. This is not the time for that, right? Do as much as you can. Everyone's trying their best. Be safe, be healthy. Just reach out if you want to. Follow us everywhere because there's a lot more Spelunky 2 stuff coming. And, if you've already listened to the show, you know that we are rebranding, right? I don't like brand. I hate the word. It's just a thing that doesn't go over well for me. We're renaming the show. We haven't announced it yet. It's mostly, I'm just going to be perfectly honest, for me, mostly because, for me, maybe it means different things to different hosts, but for me it is, we for the longest time have been like bumping up against the edges of the niche we have carved out for ourselves, and I was unhappy with that for a while, and if things don't evolve and get stagnant, then they have about a half-life of 2 years for me. And after that, I'll be like, okay, bye, right? I'm moving on to something else. And so now we've managed to have it evolve, and that will keep me going. And it will be a broadening of our scope, right? Which I think is a much needed thing. Because games and music and graphics and all that stuff is a lot of stuff. We can all fit into this show. I think there's enough space for it to go in. We shall see. So with that, I'll leave you to your weekends, hopefully, wherever you are. If you're in Europe, it's starting basically now. If you're even farther away from Europe, farther in the plus time zones, it's already there. I'm going to go do some more work, and I will sign off for now, and I will see you all next Friday at the latest. Bye.